Yo, we back like we never left, because we never left. We've been right here the whole time. So, first of all, um, I need to apologize for the part one with the gum and all that. I know I was wilding. I forgot I was even chewing gum. So as soon as I seen it, I was like, ah man. I'm just smacking the gum all through the video. That's my fault. Um, so yeah, no gum today. I got y'all. Crystal clear today. Um, so yeah, with that being said, part two, let's get right into it. So boom, like I said in the first joint, we're going back 5 years now. So you gotta rewind. You know, in the movies when they do that whole ending first and then the shit just be like whoop and goes all the way back. Visualize that. I wish I knew how to edit that shit, but I don't. So just visualize it. It go whoop all the way back, 5 joints back. I'm in Harlem, Spanish Harlem to be exact. So I'm living in Harlem. I'm dead broke. Times is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through a lot of personal issues, family issues, just a lot of shit going on. So, plus I'm broke. I'm just getting to Harlem. I was rocking with a few people already, but not like that. Not getting no money or nothing yet. So, one day I'm chilling. I'm in the crib and I'm chilling. And, money always been a big motivation for me since I was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it got money attached to it, then I'm always gonna be, at least curious to hear what it is. You know what I mean? Now I'm the same way, but I'll do it if it's something legit. You know what I mean? I'm not getting in no trouble with my age and shit. Nah, it's not going down. I learned my lesson, bro. So anyway, so I'm chilling. Of course, I'm stressed out because when I'm broke, I'm stressed out, bro. I can't even think straight when I'm broke. Seriously. So I'm stressed out. I'm on my phone and I read an article. And in the article, it was saying something about that some dude was messing with the ATMs and shit, and he was getting money out them shits and got caught or something like that. So I'm reading, I'm like, damn, how the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Messing with the ATMs, like what the fuck was he doing? So now I start Googling shit. And I start reading more articles and more this and more that. And yo, before I knew it, it was nighttime. I started in the morning. Before I knew it, it was dark outside. And I'm still like this on my phone, taking notes down, doing mad homework. I'm just obsessing over this ATM shit, right? I never spoke to nobody. Nobody never taught me nothing. All this shit was just me and the internet, you heard? So I'm just, I'm not gonna tell y'all everything but just take my word for it, man. It was from morning to night, all this Googling shit and all this shit. So kind of find out. Now, keep this in mind though. The shit that I allegedly did, it won't work no more. So if anybody is thinking like hitting me up like, yo, what you did and all that, it won't even work no more. You know what I mean? So don't even bother asking. It ain't gonna work. They already hip to it. They switched all the ATMs already to do it. You know what I mean? The way that I allegedly did it, you can't do it no more. So I'll tell you a little bit about it though, right? So what I did learn in the articles and in the shit that I was Googling and going into like the manuals from the different ATMs, I was just bugging out. But I found out that a certain ATM comes with a factory pin, right? Comes with a factory pin. So it's up to the store owner or whoever got the ATM, it's up to them to switch the pin, right? If they don't switch the pin and you know that factory pin, you could get in that ATM and fuck with it, you know what I mean? And mess with the motherboard. and trick it. You could trick the ATM. So I'm like, damn. So I'm on a mission now, right? So I'm like, yo, fuck it. I didn't even want to wait till the morning, but it was so late, I had to wait. You know what I mean? So next morning, I get up bright and early, and I hit the streets. I'm going to every single Chinese restaurant, pizza shop, bodega, Aki store, you feel me? Restaurant, anywhere where there might be ATMs at, and I'm checking for the name. It was a popular name, so them ATMs was everywhere, and I'm, hitting them codes. It's like a certain thing you had to do, and if they never, like I said, if they never switched the factory pin, you in there. You'll get in there literally into the computer of the ATM, right on the screen, like right there where you be taking the cash out, right there. You can get in there, and what it is you trick the ATM. So the ATMs that have, let's say, a bunch of 20s, right? A whole bunch of $20 bills. If you were able to get in there, which you can't do it no more, like I said, but if you were able to get in there, you could trick the ATM into thinking that it's not 20s no more, it's $5 bills. You can't do singles, or you couldn't do it at that time. You could only trick the ATM into thinking there's 5s, 10s, 20s, like that. So if you change the configuration to think that the joint has $5 bills instead of $20 bills, and then you take out some cash, what's gonna happen? That shit's gonna give you a whole lot of extra money, right? So basically, you take out 200. Once you do what you do, you take out 200. That shit giving you almost a stack every time. You heard? So I'm bugging like, yo, I gotta find one of these shits, right? I thought it was gonna be easy. I thought I was gonna find one like in the first hour. Man, listen, I must have walked, I ain't gonna say the area, but I must have walked for 3 hours, maybe more, until I get to this one little spot, right? I'm almost giving up too for the day. I get to this one little spot. I go up in there. I'm fronting. Doing my little boom, 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 because you act like you. They don't give a fuck. They don't look at you twice. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody uses the ATM. So, but you do be scared thinking that the people's looking at you, but they never looking at you, bro. Just think about this shit. Have you ever walked into a store and seen somebody using the ATM? Do you give a fuck what he's doing? What kind of buttons is he pressing? You don't care. You never really look. You don't care. You just go about your day. So I go, hit the joint, and I get in. I'm like, yo, my heart start beating. Boom, 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 boom. Because I can't believe it, right? But I'm in. So now I get scared. I put it back, like I fix it again, and I leave, right? So I'm basically speed walking back home, because in my mind I'm like, yo, I'm in. I got one, right? So check this out. I'm so broke, I didn't even have money to take out. Like when I did switch it around, I didn't even have money in no debit card or nothing to take the money out. I literally had to go borrow 200 real quick. So of course, I'm like, damn, I need a card. It can't be my name. Now I'm like super hyped, but I'm trying to just be easy because I gotta do this right. You know what I'm saying? So I do what I had to do. I went, borrowed 200, went and got one of them throwaway joints. I ain't gonna, like I said, I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I put the little 200 in there. The person that I only had told one person, and the person was like, that shit ain't gonna work. But here, take the 200. Just give me my 2 back, but it ain't gonna work. I said, all right, give me. It ain't gonna work. All right, cool. Just give me the 200. Boom. I do what I do. Go to fucking, you know what I mean, wherever to fill up the card. Troop it back over there. Now I'm back a couple hours later. So I fucking boom, 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 switch it. Now once you in, you gotta go to another menu and another menu, and then that's when you go into where it says the bills. It's called denominations. You get into the denominations, you switch it from 20s to 5s, and then you gotta get back out, and that's when you could, you know what I mean? So boom, I did all that. My heart beating. I'm thinking the owner is right on my ass the whole time, which he wasn't. So I'm like, all right, boom. I put the shit in there, do the pin, 200, withdraw. That shit said, boop, 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 boop. I'm like, yo, this shit. So anyway, allegedly though, this shit was, think about it as a movie, not like some real life shit. So the shit just starts spitting. Bam, 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 bam. So I'm like, oh my God, this shit work. You heard? So I grabbed the joint, boom, I fold all the money, put it in my pocket. So now a stupid dude will leave it, right? And just leave. But I'm like, nah, I gotta put this back to normal because I'm coming back. You heard? Because I'll be back. So I put it back. I almost forget, matter of fact. I almost leave out the joint and I'm like, oh shit. So I come back, boom, 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 boom. I front again. I fix it back to how it's supposed to be. Dip out. I'll go back to, of course, to the person that lent me the two. I'm like, yo, showing the money, like, yo, you serious? It was crazy. So from then on, my whole mission in life from then on was to find as many joints as I can. Cause I ain't wanna just be hitting, you know what I mean? That shit's only gonna last but so long. And it was very tempting to just air it out. But I was able to compose myself a little bit. Even though I aired it, you know what I mean? I did, allegedly I aired the shit out of it, right? But not all like in a day or two. Like, I mean, you gotta just be easy with it. So, yeah. So after that, like I said, after that date, there wasn't an ATM in the world that I didn't try to get into, like to see if it worked. I mean, it literally became a fucking, like a habit to just hit them numbers. And every machine that I ever saw, I was always like, do, 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 do. You go to, cause you just go about your day, but every store you go into, there's a fucking ATM. So I will always be like, boom, 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 boom. And for a minute, it was nothing going down until one day, I go to this other spot. I'm just minding my business. I'm buying some shit. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, I'm in again. I'm like, oh my God, I got another. So, you know the story, whatever. A whole lot of time goes by. I go to this, I'm in the Bronx now. I go to this telly. I'm not thinking about nothing, especially in the telly, you know what I mean? I go to this telly. I'm online to get my joint, my room. I see the joint. So I'm like, fuck it, because it's a habit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Because I would go months without even fucking with it, because also at this time, I ran into a little change. I ran into 50 racks. Not no illegal shit or nothing. It was like somebody passed away in my life, somebody very close to me, and they left me 50 racks. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother story. I'll probably tell y'all that story. I ain't ready to talk about that right now though. So I literally stopped for a minute. I had 50 racks. You know what I mean? So I stopped for a long minute, but I ran through them 50 racks, which I am gonna tell that story. That's a crazy story. I ran through 50 racks like that shit was, 50,000 sounds like a lot, but it's really not. You know what I'm saying? So once I ran through them 50, of course, I fell right back to doing what I do. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm at the telly that day, allegedly, and I just see it. So I'm like, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, fuck it, a telly. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas can't be stupid like that. So I do what it do, and I'm in. I'm like, nah, you playing, because this ain't a bodega. This is a hotel. So can you imagine how much bread they gotta put in this joint to keep the flow? You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people in and out this spot. They gotta fill this shit up to the fucking rim. You heard? So I was like, yo, I couldn't believe my motherfucking luck, bro. So it was off to the races, you know what I mean? But I was on some super sloppy shit though, cause like I said in the first part, I was staying in this telly a lot with using my name and all that. Of course, when I was doing what it do, it was a whole nother name, a whole nother whatever. But, I'm sure it wasn't too hard to put two and two together. Two and two makes four. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way, I'm sure that that's the way they end up, you know, at least trying to say that it was me or whatever. So, yeah, so, you know, I'm doing what I do, whatever. I'm going all over the place, Atlantic City, fucking just bugging. Can you just imagine, you know what I'm saying? It's free money, like, I mean, so, whatever happens, happens. Because eventually them shits get dubbed. They do get dubbed after a while. Some take longer than others, but they all get dubbed. Like, you know, like they end up noticing like, yo, something's not adding up. Like, you know what I'm saying? This money is just vanishing. Like, it's not adding up. So, you know, eventually you go back to that first spot. Like, shit is sweet. You hit them numbers and it's locked. You're like, shit. So you get bad at it, you know it's over. You know what I mean? You can't do that one no more. So that's what would happen eventually. Like, so that's what happened at the telly. Eventually I go. This shit took a minute though, I'm not gonna lie to you. But eventually I go, boom, 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 dub. It ain't happening. So I'm like, fuck, it's over. And I never found another one again after that. So, you know, years go by. I'm telling you, 5 years almost go by. I'm not thinking about this shit because I'm not doing no more. By this time is when I guess the people got real hip to what people was doing, because I couldn't be the only one that knew about it. I never told nobody about it. You know what I'm saying? I kept that shit to myself. But if I figured it out so easily, come on, man. You know, had to be a bunch of other people that figured it out too. So the ATM companies and everybody, I guess they got hip to it and they switched everything around. You know, when the chips started coming in, on the cards and shit, that's when they really switched everything. So once them ATMs got that chip reader and all that, it's over. It's clipped. There's no more ATMs that you could get into the way I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? The way I'm talking about. There's no way. It's over. It's quiet for that. It's been years already. So, you know, by this time, I ain't in the streets. I got my own place. I'm working. I'm chilling. And, you know, I ain't thinking nothing of it. Damn near 5 years later. That's a long time. You're like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said in part one, they kicked the door in and they locked me up for that shit. Can you imagine my fucking, you know, like, I couldn't believe that I was actually getting locked up for this shit 5 years later. That shit was not even nowhere near my mind. You know what I'm saying? That all that dirt that I did back then. If I would have got caught then and there, all right, I understand. But damn near 5 years later, that shit did hit me by surprise. But once it hit me, once the cards came tumbling down, you know, I just had to face reality. I wasn't like, you know, because some people, they like kind of like sore losers or whatever, and they crying about shit. I never been that type. Like, you know, if I get knocked for something I really actually did, I don't cry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I was up against. You know what I'm saying? And I chose to do it anyway. So if I ever, or when I ever did get arrested for shit that I did, never cried about it. Not even my first time when I was 16. I never cried about it. I would be upset, but I never cried about the shit. Like, and when I say cry about it, I mean like I've been locked up with a bunch of dudes that get locked up and blame everybody else. They blame the cops. How you blaming the cops because they caught you selling drugs, bro? Like, you sound crazy. You know? Just man up about it. You know what I mean? Take them to trial, cop out, and do your shit. Like, just stand up like a man. But too many dudes be sitting there crying, oh, fuck these niggas and fuck that nigga and yo, my man, this and my nigga. Just do your shit, bro. Do your time and just chill out. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Everybody's not like that. I'm definitely glad I came out like that though. You know what I mean? I try to teach my boys the same thing. Not as far as like getting arrested and shit, but you stand on your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever get caught for some shit, not even, like I said, it don't have to be some jail shit, but anything in life, man up. You know what I'm saying? Just stand up, stand tall. That's it. I told all my boys that shit. Stand tall, bro. Like, even my little boys, like, if they get caught doing some silly shit or whatever, even in school, whatever, You caught, man up. You know what I'm saying? Don't cry about the shit. Just man up, because you shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. And if you chose to do it and you get caught, then obviously you knew that came with it. So just man up. You know what I mean? But anyway, I hope y'all liked it, man. Like I said, this shit is some really, really old shit. It's just part of my life story. You know, there's more where that came from. And yeah, man, happy holidays. And I love y'all, man. One.